Well, people aren't being the presidency, the South African presidency, who is releasing information about Nelson Mandela's health, are not going into the specifics, I think, for a question of dignity, really. But what they are saying that this is a critical condition Nelson Mandela finds himself in, and that's a substantial deterioration, really, in terms of the language used by President Jacob Zuma's office. Previously, he'd always been described as serious but stable. Now the word is critical, and I think that is the alarm word, as it were, for millions of South Africans and people all around the world.
And of course, the significance can't be denied of actually President Zuma visiting him as well.
Yes, well, it's not the first time that President Zuma has visited Nelson Mandela, as perhaps might be expected as one of his most august predecessors as South African president. He also went with Cyril Ramaphosa, who's a very senior figure in the African National Congress, and of course family members have been visiting really non-stop throughout the last couple of weeks that Nelson Mandela has been in hospital. So I don't think we should necessarily read too much into the visit as such. It's more the statement coming out of the presidency, what the doctors were telling Jacob Zuma, the president, that has raised alarm bells.
And he has appealed to the nation and the world to pray for him and his medical team as well. How are people reacting in where you are in Johannesburg?
Well, there's certainly been a great outpouring. If you listen to radio stations, also on Twitter, people asking themselves and others really to pray for Mandela, to pray for the medical team. You can see the great levels of concern, and that's something that one would imagine, given the iconic status, the legendary status that Nelson Mandela has in this country. But of course, everyone really waiting for that next bit of news about Nelson Mandela's condition, and the only people authorised to give that are the South African presidency.